Hey everybody, welcome to Life in Calgary, Alberta. I'm your host, Patrick Murray, and today's topic is, should I live in Calgary, Alberta? And I'm going to discuss with you 7 cool things that you might not know about Calgary that may very likely make you want to move here. In fact, you're probably going to look at these facts and say, Calgary might be cooler than my city. So before we do that, if this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything there is about what it's like to eat, sleep, breathe, live, and play in Calgary, Alberta, then please hit that subscribe button and click that little bell so you get notified every single time I release a new video. Now I have to tell you, I've lived in 5 large cities in my lifetime, in my adult life I should say, but you know what, I moved to Calgary way back in 2001. I know it's been a while, but it's stuck, and it's stuck for a reason, because it is a great city. But not only that, I've been a realtor here since 2010, and all of this means I have some specialized knowledge about the city of Calgary and the surrounding bedroom communities. So if you are considering a move to our great city or one of these bedroom communities and you would like some assistance to purchase a home, please feel free to reach out to me, send me a text, email, or a phone call. I will absolutely get back to you. Okay guys, let's do this. Let's talk about, should I live in Calgary, Alberta, right after this. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the weather, and 2 things of note. First off, Calgary has an average of 333 days of sunshine a year on average, and this is out of any city in Canada. So that's huge for me, especially because I really love the sunshine, and I'm like a battery, you know, I really need that sunshine so I feel like I recharge. So even on very cold days in the wintertime, it'll be cold outside and it'll look nice outside because the sun is shining. And that's really cool about our city. I really like that. So in other centers I've been in, it looks dreary outside, it looks cold, and you know what? It is cold and it is gross, and it looks gross because there's no sun. But here we get sun even on the very cold days, so that helps make those cold days a little more tolerable. Now, speaking of cold, another fact about Calgary's weather is we get something called Chinooks in the wintertime. So what's a Chinook? Well, if you've seen some of my other videos, this will be a replay for you. But it's those warm winds that blow off the Rocky Mountains and the foothills. And what it does, it creates a cloud barrier over the city, and it insulates this warm air in the city. So we could be very cool one day. We might be, you know, -10, for example, degrees Celsius. And the next day, you know, we could be as high as +16 degrees Celsius because of the Chinook winds that roll in. So yes, it's a little bit cloudier at that time but the trade-off is the insulation of that warm air. And you will see people out and about wearing shorts in our city during those times in the winter, those little winter breaks. You know what? We all love summer, right? So there you go. So the weather is one of the great reasons to move to Calgary, Alberta. Number 2 on my list is outdoor activities abound here in Calgary, and that's what I love. So, for example, you know, you can easily cycle to and from the office because Calgary has lots of great bike lanes, and we've got these trails that go all throughout the city, so it can get you to where you go and you can be active outdoors even on a work day. You can take a riverside stroll. You can surf or float down the Bow River, or even fish on the Bow River, and you can even ice skate at your local community. Now, Calgary also has many year-round facilities as well, so if your jam is more to work out indoors, that's doable as well. Lots of great facilities for use, whether you swim or lift weights or want to take dance classes, etc. It's all there and waiting for you. And Calgary is also home to 2 of the world's largest urban parks, one being Nose Hill Park, which is in the north, and then there's Fish Creek Provincial Park located in the south of Calgary. So those are great activities, and yes, you'll even get to see some wildlife out there too, so that's cool. We have the most extensive outdoor path system and bike network in all of North America. In fact, the city maintains approximately 1,000 kilometers of regional pathways and 96 kilometers of trails. And I got to tell you, my kids and I, we get out there as much as we can. We love using it all the time, going biking and checking out the city and what the city has to offer. And for your furry friends, there's over 150 off-leash parks located within the city. Number 3 on my list is we are close to the Rocky Mountains. That's right, we're just a 1-hour drive away from Canmore, or an hour and 20 minutes from Banff. And you can do all sorts of great activities out there besides, walking through the town site and checking it out, which is also cool. You can get into the mountains. You can do some hiking, climbing, camping, fishing, mountain biking. Of course, we've got tons of world-class skiing, just a short drive out of Calgary. There's snowmobiling, snowshoeing, and so much more. And it's a great day trip, or if you want to go make a weekend out of it, you know what, that's option is there too. So Calgary is a great base. We can see the mountains, we can easily get to them very quickly as well, and I also love that. Number 4 is Calgary is a great year-round festival city. We have the third most diverse city in Canada, which offers opportunities in various cultures with many various cultural events, which is really cool. And festivals, of course. The largest festival being the Calgary Stampede, of course, which you've probably heard about. It's the greatest outdoor show on earth. There's several music festivals as well going on all the time. So, for example, there's Sled Island. There's the Calgary Folk Music Festival, which is huge. I know my family and we really enjoy that. There's the Calgary International Blues Festival. There's Chasing Summer, Country Thunder, and so much more. And if music isn't your thing, there's other things to go check out as well. And I gotta tell you, I love it. There's always something going on. We just had something called the Lilac Festival down on 4th Street in Calgary, Alberta in the community of Mission. So that was something that's really cool that just happened at the beginning of June. Number 5 on my list is Calgary has lots of great year-round activities for families. So Calgary really is a vibrant community for families, and in fact, we have one of the youngest median ages in the country. So we have lots of great places for families to go and play together, and there's all sorts of great attractions. So my family and we've raised our kids here, and we've taken our kids to the places on this list here that I'm going to share with you when they were toddlers, and we still check out some of these places today because they're great activities to do. So the Calgary Zoo is one I highly recommend if you have toddlers to get a year-round pass if you can do it, because you can go any time of year. There's lots of stuff inside and outside as well. And it's a great place just to go walk around with them. There's lots of places to play as well. There's eateries, that sort of thing too. So Calgary Zoo is fantastic. Took my kids there when they were very young, but you know what? We still go back and they still love it, and so do I. Telespark Science Center is another great activity to do with your kids and as a family. There's lots of activities cycling through there all the time. And again, this is another great place to get a year-round pass, especially if you have little ones. So if the weather is particularly bad on a particular day, hey, that's a great place to go in the wintertime to get out of the house, to get away from the tablets and the screens and whatever else is going on, and to go check out some family fun activities where they can learn something outside of the house. Another popular spot is Heritage Park. This is another hot spot with my kids when they were toddlers, and you know what? We still like to get back on occasion as well. So this is more like through the summer months, and then it closes kind of into September. But it's great for heritage stuff about Calgary and around Alberta. And it's fantastic. There's an old train there, steam engine you can ride. There's a midway with rides that are from back in the day. So your kids can go and check out these rides. And of course, they're well maintained and supervised. You can go check out the train museum as well. You can ride the horse and wagon. Of course, there's the bakery and all sorts of other things, the schoolhouse, so much more to see. And there's a little farm there as well. And the train goes all around the park. It's a fantastic place to go. I highly recommend it. Again, this is a good place to get a pass, especially on those nicer days in the summer, to get outside with your kids and let them run around and have a great time. And also in the wintertime, they have something there called Gasoline Alley with all these cool cars year round. So that's another great spot. Studio Bell is another great spot that my kids still like to go to today. So Studio Bell is home to the National Music Centre here in Canada. And it's a great spot because there's always changing the exhibits, right? There's lots of great stuff about music. There's some hands-on things to do. There's concerts there. And I highly recommend it. It's in the East Village, and the architecture in the building is really cool too. And you can also get a year-round pass there, so that's also great. And the Calgary Public Library, hey, what can I tell you? It's a spot where my kids and I still go every 1 to 2 weeks because we take out books. They have various programs and activities, of course, not to mention all those books. But there's also some stunning architecture at the main branch down in the East Village, and you have to check it out. And it's a great spot for your kids to run around and to do various things. So I highly recommend that. getting a library card is free, and you're supporting literacy in your kids. So it's great for the whole family. Number 6 on my list is Calgary has some major employers located right here within our city. We have the highest concentration of major employers, of which there are plenty, and the city is home to 118 of the biggest corporate headquarters in all of Canada. So the city has long been the center of the nation's oil and gas industry, as I'm sure you probably already know, but did you know we also have a thriving film industry here? We absolutely do, and it's growing like crazy. And we're also now considered a technology hub. So that's exciting. And so you can already tell that our economy is absolutely diversifying, not just with oil, but beyond oil. And there are billions of dollars expected to be invested in digital transformation industries by 2030, which will be divided between the aerospace technologies, financial services, digital media, and other scientific endeavors, which already have incredibly strong footholds here in the city. So there's lots of great employment opportunities here in the city of Calgary. And number 7 on my list is we have no PST here in Alberta, which is the provincial sales tax, which means we don't have it here in Calgary. So what is that? Well, most provinces have a provincial sales tax on top of the federal government's government sales tax. And provincial sales taxes range anywhere from 6% on the low end in some of the provinces up to 10% on the higher end in some of the provinces. But Alberta does not have a provincial sales tax, and that means your dollar goes that much further. And that's something pretty cool about Alberta, pretty cool about Calgary. So as I mentioned earlier, if you are considering a move to the city of Calgary or one of the bedroom communities and you'd like some assistance to purchase a home, please feel free to reach out to me. Send me a text, email, or a phone call. My information is below, and I will absolutely get back to you so you can live your life in Calgary, Alberta.